What's up, everyone? We're going to be going to the best NBA player props on Prizepicks today. Now, if you watched the other day's YouTube video, as yesterday we didn't have any basketball, you would have seen that we actually got 2 out of the 3 picks correct, which was fantastic. However, I also did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and we actually got 23 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got 1 pick wrong and got 23 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 98% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 23 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $2,100 just yesterday. Another member who won $215 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Jaron Holloway who said first let's eat. Shouts out to the Melman Connect who said let's cash. Also shouts out to Michael Garcia who said awesome analytics again. Gives me great confidence in considering these props. Thank you. Appreciate your hard work. So shouts out to him. And then also shouts out to Yi7740 who said absolutely insane. So shouts out to them. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. All right, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. Now, I did want to mention first a really good discounted pick that is out right now. Now, we will get on to the next pick, but I did want to just mention the Tyrese Haliburton for 13.5 points. Definitely keep an eye out for this one. I wouldn't say this is a 100% gimme pick, but there is definitely a lot more value in this one than, any other pick due to the fact that it is discounted. So keep an eye out for this one. Tyrese Haliburton for 13.5 points. But let's get into the next pick because we are going to be talking about, the first, I guess, official pick, and that is still Tyrese Haliburton. However, this one is an interesting one for actually 3-pointers. So this one is for Tyrese Haliburton. This one, like I mentioned, is for 3-pointers. And this is actually for 2.5 3 points made. And this one is for less. Now, looking at Tyrese Haliburton, we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, all have been against New York. But just to reiterate, how those games went. We did see on May 24th, faced off against the Knicks, had 3 3-pointers made there. Then May 26th, faced off against the Knicks again, where he had 2 3-pointers. May 28th against Knicks, had 5 3-pointers. Then 0 3-pointers on May 30th. And then on June 1st, actually had 2 3-pointers made there. So like I mentioned, he has gone on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. So he's gone more on the under than he has gone on the over. And his average over the last 5 is also 2.4, so slightly below this line as well. Now, when we look at this matchup, as we all know, this is the beginning of the NBA Finals. We all know how important Game 1 is, but Indiana do face off against Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals, and there's definitely going to be a very exciting game. Now, looking at both of these teams, ranking-wise, we did see Pacers come in at the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference, and they did a fantastic job all season because they actually had a record of 50-32. So they had 50 wins, 32 losses, 61% win percentage, and also had, a really good sort of journey to the NBA Finals, beating a lot of the tough teams in the Eastern Conference. Now in round 1, they faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks, where they were able to knock them out pretty easily, then faced off against the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. With a lot of them being counted out, they were able to get the job done and be able to beat them, which they then faced off in the conference finals against the New York Knicks, who they were able to beat in 6 games. So, Indiana have definitely had a really good journey to the finals. They have not only just knocked out some great teams, but they have been playing absolutely fantastic. They've been on a bit of a roll, and not just Tyrese himself, but also the other players in this Indy team. So when it comes to coming into this playoff series, they're definitely going to try to put, their whole effort into trying to steal a win especially at OKC's home court, as this is going to be played at Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, looking at OKC, we do see OKC did come in at the #1 spot in the Western Conference, so they were actually favorites, and they actually had a record during the regular season of 68-14. So they actually did a fantastic job there. They had an 82.9% win percentage. And on top of that, they were able to beat some really, really tough teams in order to make it to the NBA Finals. Now, looking at those tough teams, we did see in round 1, they faced off against Memphis, which was a little bit of an easier matchup. Then they were taken to Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets, but were able to close it out. And then faced off against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference finals, and now find themselves in a final situation, for SGA's first time. Now, when we look at OKC and Indiana, it's definitely going to be an exciting game, no doubt about it. But when we actually look at Oklahoma City Thunder and their defense, especially on the three-point line, we do see Oklahoma City Thunder do rank first when it comes to three-point percentages allowed. They also do rank 23rd when it comes to three-point attempts allowed, and then they also rank tied at 12th at 3 points made allowed. So we have actually seen that OKC do a great job at defending the three ball. Now, they do allow a lot of three ball attempts, but when it comes to actual 3-point percentages and also 3 points made, we actually find ourselves where OKC are a very, very good defensive team in that. And that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. Both of these teams, as we do know, are very tough defensive teams, but when it comes to OKC, we are expecting them to really come out in this game and have a lot of attention on Tyrese Haliburton to try and get this done. And a big reason for that is that when it comes to Tyrese, yes, he is a great player, but OKC do love to create defensive strategies that really restrict their stars, and that's what we are expecting when it comes to the defense that will be, pressured on to Tyrese Haliburton. Now, looking at Tyrese against the Thunder during the regular season, we actually have seen them play against each other twice. Once in 2024 on the 26th of December, and in that matchup, we actually did see in that matchup, he actually made 0 3-pointers made there. Now, he did only take 2 attempts, so he was very restricted in that game when it comes to OKC doing a great job. And then they faced off against each other again on actually March of 29th of this year, and he actually made 4 3-pointers made there, and he had 9 attempts. So, when it comes to Tyrese Haliburton, out of the 2 games that he has played, he's gone on the under once. And, coming into this next matchup, although he has gone on the over in one of those games, we still do like the situation here. And we do believe that the situation is going to lead to a lot more of an under situation. And there's, a lot of different reasons for that. Playoffs are definitely a different bowl game to the regular season. Yes, you can take it with a grain of salt, but in a situation like this where we are expecting certain strategies from OKC, we definitely could see that affect Tyrese Haliburton's usage rate out there, especially in the 3-ball department. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this one. So Tyrese Haliburton for 2.5 3-pointers made for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Alex Caruso. To Alex Caruso, great player, and this one is for points, rebounds, and assists for 14.5, and this one actually is for less. So looking at Alex Caruso, we have seen him go on the under in 5 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see against Minnesota, May 21st, faced off against them, had 12 points, rebounds, and assists. Then May 23rd, faced off against Minnesota, had a 13 PRA. After that, 25th, actually had a 3 PRA against Minnesota. Then against Timberwolves, had a 13 PRA on May 27th. And then May 29th, actually, went on the under once again, had a 14 PRA. So we have seen Caruso go on the under in 5 out of the last 5 games. And that's definitely, a telltale sign to us there. Now, when we look at his average over the last 5, we also do see that his average over the last 5 is 11. So significantly below this line as well. Now, we have talked about the matchup, OKC and Thunder, in a sense of, where they do standing-wise. But looking at them defensively, we do see Indiana Pacers do rank 17th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, they do rank a little bit better at 12th. And then rebounds allowed, we also do see that they rank 22nd. So we have actually seen, Caruso do very, very well throughout the regular season. But what we have seen during the playoffs is that Caruso's usage rate has definitely fallen quite a bit. And it's not because because he is a bad player or anything of that nature, but Caruso is really stepping into that more supporting cast and that supporting role, and it's actually led to other players in OKC to have a lot more usage rate, and it does leave Caruso in a bit of a situation where he is just playing more of that role-playing type role. So for that reason, we definitely do like the under for this situation here. We think the play style that OKC are going to come out as is definitely going to be, you know, a sort of style where Caruso is just, you know, helping out Shea, helping out Chet to get his points, all that nature, and just being kind of a defensive menace out there for this actual OKC team. Now, obviously, they do want to get the win, so they are definitely going to try their best at it, but overall, we definitely see that affecting it due to the fact that when we look further, we also do see Alex Caruso has a face-off against, you know, Pacers once during the regular season, which was on the 29th of March. In that matchup, we actually saw him go on the under in that one because he actually had 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So he did only have a 13 PRA there. And, you know, now that it is playoff time, we are expecting a little bit more intensity and also different strategies. Like I mentioned, Caruso may get a less usage rate. And for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here for someone like Alex Caruso. So when you look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have a favorite for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, keep an eye out for him. So Alex Caruso, 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Obi Toppin. So Obi Toppin, great player, and this one is for 8.5 points, and this one actually is for less. So looking at Obi Toppin, we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, see on May 24th, faced off against Knicks, had 4 points there. Then May 26th, faced off against Knicks again, where he had 8 points. Then May 28th, faced off against Knicks, where he had 5 points. And then May 30th, faced off against Knicks, where he had 11. And then also on June 1st, we saw, you know, Obi Toppin have 18 points there. So we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, when we look at someone like Obi Toppin, we also do see that his average over the last 5 is 9.2. So it is, yes, slightly above this line, but definitely not convincing enough to us. And a big reason being is that he did have an outlier game, which was the most recent game of 18 points against New York Knicks. He had a great shooting night in that matchup, and it has brought this line a little bit too high that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. Now looking at this matchup again between OKC and Indiana, just to reiterate, Thunder do rank first with a 68-14 record, 82.9% win percentage, and they face off against the Pacers, who have a 50-32 record, a 61% win percentage, and they actually ranked 4th. So we have seen Obi Toppin, you know, do a great job for this Pacers team to help them get into that 4th spot, but we do see him going on the under due to, you know, several reasons. Now, starting off, we do see that Oklahoma City Thunder do rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed, and not only do they rank high when it comes to points allowed, but they also do a fantastic job at restricting points to the forward position, and that's where we definitely see someone like Obi Toppin struggling. Due to the fact that he is also usually a second unit player, OKC do a great job against second unit forwards, and we should see Obi, you know, really struggle to really get going due to the fact that, you know, Thunder just do a great job defensively, and that's due to the back of players like Chet, even like players like Hartenstein and others. So, you know, we are expecting the under for this situation. Now looking at Obi against actually, you know, OKC during the regular season, we do see something pretty interesting. We saw on the 26th of December last year, we saw him have 5 points. And then on the 29th of actually March, we saw them face off against each other, and he actually had 12 points in that matchup. So he did go on the under in one, went on the over in the other. But like I always mention, you know, playoffs are a different story. We are expecting different strategies, and because of that, we should see Obi go on the under. On top of that, Obi Toppin isn't really having the highest usage rate in the points during this playoff series, and not playoff series, sorry, I meant like the playoff run, and that's due to the fact that there are so many big scorers in this Pacers team. We are expecting them to do a lot more of the heavy lifting scoring wise, which is why we do like the under for this one. Now when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have a favorite for the under as well, so Obi Toppin, 8.5 points for less, I think is a great pick. All right, so as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but Prizepicks is delayed with some of their lines, so here are a couple of players you should definitely watch watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player going to be talking about is none other than Aaron Wiggins. Now, as you all know, Aaron Wiggins is a fantastic player for Oklahoma City Thunder, and we have seen him do a fantastic job during the regular season. Now, we have actually seen him average 12 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, while also shooting 0.8 as a field goal percentage. So he has done a fantastic job there. We have seen him ranked 96th in points, 115th in rebounds, 144th in assists, and also 39th when it comes to field goal percentage. So he definitely has done a great job in all departments. Now, when we look at someone like Aaron Wiggins and Oklahoma City Thunder, as we all know, like I mentioned, there is only one game because it is the NBA Finals, and it is between Pacers and Thunder for Game 1. Now, just to reiterate again how both of these teams have done, during the regular season, we did see Thunder come in at the number 1 spot in the Western Conference with a 68-14 record. So 68 wins, 14 losses. And on top of that, they also had the best record in the NBA overall. So that's including East first and West, Now, looking at Thunder, they had an 82.9% win percentage as well. And they are coming off a 4-game win streak as well. So they have done a fantastic job there. Now, looking at someone like, the Thunder, they have not only just had a great season, but they've also had a really, really big journey to the finals. In the first round, they faced off against Memphis, which they were able to beat pretty easily. Then came a bit of a tougher matchup where they faced off against the Denver Nuggets, who took them to 7 games, but Thunder were able to get it done. And then they faced off in the conference finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which they were able to beat pretty easily as well. So we have seen Oklahoma City have a great road to the finals, and now they are finally here. So it is definitely going to be an exciting Game 1 for them. And looking at the Pacers, just to remind you as well, they did come in at the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference, so they weren't even the top team, and they had a 50-32 record. So they had 50 wins, 32 losses, a 61% win percentage as well. And on top of that, we also had seen them have a great road to the actual finals as well. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in a very, very good matchup. After that, in round 2, they actually knocked out the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. And in the conference finals, were able to knock out the New York Knicks. So they did have a fun time, doing that, but also were able to get the job done. And it was fantastic to see just how well they have done and the streak that they have been on, as not many people were expecting Pacers to make it to the finals. Now, Thunder, on the other side, are a great team, and looking at the Pacers defensively, we do see that when we look at regular season, we did see Pacers, when it came to points allowed, we see that they ranked 17th. When it came to assists allowed, we see that they ranked 12th. And then rebounds allowed, we also do see that they do rank 22nd. So they do rank pretty low in all 3 categories. However, when it comes to someone like Aaron Wiggins, we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now, a big reason being for this is that when we actually look at the Pacers, we see them actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the second unit shooting guard. Now, Aaron Wiggins isn't a starter. He tends to play for that second unit. And when he does come on, we are expecting Pacers to really push the pace and also really restrict, the second unit, which they have done a great job of doing so far during the regular season. So that's definitely going to translate for us into this next game, no doubt about it. On top of that, Aaron Wiggins, although he is a great player, especially in this first game, we are expecting some of the other stars in this Oklahoma City Thunder team to have a little bit more usage rate than Aaron Wiggins himself. Now, this is definitely due to the fact that, Game 1 is definitely an exciting and also a very crucial game, as each team wants to get off to a really, really good start. So we could see players like Shea, like Chet, take away some of the usage rate away from someone like Aaron Wiggins. And Wiggins may be out there to be more of a defensive pressure and an extra body out there, when some stars need a rest. So for that reason, we do very, very much, like the under for this situation. Now, looking at his 5 games that he has played recently, we saw in Game 7 faced off against Denver with a 125-93 win, where he actually had 8 points, 3 assists, and also 4 rebounds there. Then in game 1 against Minnesota, had a 114-88 win, had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists. After that, game 2, 118-103 win, had 0 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Then game 3, faced off against Minnesota, 143-101 loss, where he had 5 points, 2 assists, and 0 rebounds. And then in game 5, he actually skipped game 4, and in game 5 played where he had a score of 124-94 and also had 0 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds there. So, although we have seen, someone of Aaron Wiggins be a really great asset to this Thunder team, during the regular season, we definitely have seen his usage rate in the playoffs diminish quite a bit, and we are expecting a similar situation and a similar outcome like that in this next game as well, especially for game 1. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the under for someone like Aaron Wiggins. I don't really think you need to focus on any of the 3 lines. I think all 3 definitely have the capability to see him go on the under. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Aaron Wiggins' line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about TJ McConnell. So TJ McConnell, great player for none other than Indiana Pacers. And we have seen him do a fantastic job during the regular season. Now, we have seen him actually average 9.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, 4.4 assists, while also shooting 51.9% from the field. So he has done a great job there. We actually saw him rank 144th in points, 150th plus in rebounds, 50th in assists, and then also 22nd when it came to field goal percentage. So we have seen him do a great job there. When we look at TJ McConnell, what we also do see is that, he's definitely been a huge asset to this team, especially in the last series. And now Pacers do face off against Thunder. Now, we just recently talked about the rankings, but like to mention again, Pacers ranked 4th in the East, and then West Thunder ranked number 1. Now, this is going to be game 1, and this is going to be a very, very big game. Obviously, Thunder do have the home court advantage coming into this matchup. So, first game is going to be at Thunder's home court. Now, looking at Oklahoma City Thunder, we do see that they do actually rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed, 4th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, they do actually rank 20th. So we are expecting TJ McConnell to actually go on the under in this situation. And a big reason being for that, similar to Aaron Wiggins, is due to the fact that, since he isn't really a superstar for this team, in this game 1, we are expecting, the superstars of this Pacers team to have a little bit more usage rate and do a lot more controlling of the stats out there and a lot more usage rate. So I'm talking players like Tyrese, Pascal, even players like Miles Turner. List really does go on and on. For someone of TJ McConnell's caliber, he tends to be a little bit more of a playmaker anyway. He's not really too big of a huge kind of offensive asset out there. He is great at actually, controlling the floor, being a great point guard, which I think is fantastic. But we are expecting the other players in the team to take a little bit more usage rate away from him, especially in this first game. And that's what we tend to usually see and why we do like the under. Now, it also does help that Thunder are a great defensive team. Like I mentioned, they do a great job at restricting points and assists, and although they do a little bit worse job at restricting rebounds, we still don't see that being enough to see someone like TJ go on the over. So we still do very much like the under for this one. Now, looking at TJ over the last 5 games, we definitely have seen him play some really big minutes and played some big games. New York Knicks, obviously in their most recent matchup on game 2, they won 114-109. He had 10 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds there. Game 3, 106-100 loss, where he had 12 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds there. Game 4 had 6 points, 3 assists, and 0 rebounds. And then Game 5, with a loss of 111-94, had 7 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And then also in Game 6, they had a win against them, 125-108 to close out the series. And he had 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So as you see, TJ McConnell has definitely gone on the under quite a bit. And we are expecting him to go on the under once again in this next matchup, especially against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the under for TJ McConnell. Like I mentioned, you don't really need to focus or hone in on certain categories. I definitely see him having the capability to go on the under in all 3 of those categories. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Cason Wallace. So, as you all know, Cason Wallace, great player for Oklahoma City Thunder. We all know how fantastic he has been throughout the regular season because he's actually averaged 8.4 points, 3.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, while also shooting 47.4% from the field. So he's done a fantastic job there. What we also did see, he ranked 150th plus in points, 150th plus in rebounds, and then 97th when it came to assists. So he definitely did a great job there. Now, when we look at someone like Cason Wallace for Oklahoma City Thunder and the matchup they do face off against, obviously we do know they face off against the Pacers, and just reiterating again, Pacers do rank 4th, Thunder rank number 1. It is going to be at Thunder's home court, and this is obviously game 1. So it's definitely a big and crucial game. And just to reiterate where Pacers do rank defensively, we did see Pacers rank actually 17th when it came to points. When it comes to assists allowed, we see that they rank 12th, and then rebounds allowed, we also saw them rank a little bit lower, as they do rank 22nd. So, like I mentioned before, when it comes to someone like Cason Wallace, although he is a fantastic player, we are expecting him to still go on the under in this situation here. And a big reason being for that is because when we look at someone like Cason Wallace, he is more of a role player for this team, and for that reason we do very much see the under, like what we mentioned with Aaron Wiggins and also with the TJ McConnell. Now, like I've mentioned time and time again, when it comes to usage rates in these first games, it's definitely a lot of the superstar sort of mentality. So we are expecting Chet, SGA, Jalen Williams to do a lot more of the heavy lifting offensively, and Cason Wallace may be out there just to play great D and to really cause havoc that way. So for that reason, especially in this first game, like I mentioned with the other two picks, we are just expecting a similar outcome for these types of role players. We aren't expecting them to do anything sort of crazy, no crazy sort of stats or anything like that. We are expecting them to play more of a supporting role, which is why they are called role players, and a supporting role to the main cast, which are the superstars for this Thunder team. And the Thunder team is already stacked. We do know how many great players are on this team, and Cason Wallace is probably just going to fill in those gaps rather than having to do any carrying. So that's why we do like the under there. Now, looking at Cason Wallace over the last couple of games, we did see in game 1 against Minnesota, 114-88 win. Now he had 3 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds there. Then game 2 faced off against Minnesota, 118-103 win, had 8 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds there. Then in game 3 had 2 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound with a 143-101 loss. Then in game 4 had a 128-126 victory with 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And in game 5 had a 124-94 win with 5 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds there. So yes, he has had some pretty ups and downs compared to his sort of line or his averages at times, but coming into this first game, like we always mentioned, matchups, that's what's most important. And with a matchup like this, especially in game 1, we are expecting him to go on the under. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Cason Wallace. I definitely do like the under for this situation here, so keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under.